Two people, same city, same starting point, same economy. 20 years later, one is financially free. The other is still waiting for things to get easier. Same world, completely different lives.
The difference was not talent. It was not luck. It was not even hard work. It was the way they thought. I am not talking about positive thinking. I am talking about something far deeper. The invisible operating system running beneath every decision they ever made. This video is about that operating system and how to change it. Before we go any further, let us be honest about what we mean. When we talk about a poor mindset, we are not talking about people who have less money. We are not talking about circumstance or inherited disadvantage, all of which are very real. We are talking about a relationship with possibility. The research is clear. People who grew up in genuine poverty have built extraordinary wealth, and people born into extraordinary wealth have lost everything, repeatedly. The bank account is downstream of the mindset, always. Researchers who study intergenerational wealth consistently find the same pattern. It is not education level. It is not access to capital. The single most predictive variable is what they believe about their own financial agency. Do they see themselves as someone wealth happens to, or someone who builds it? Wealth begins as a thought, long before it becomes a bank balance. And scarcity begins as a thought, long before it becomes a circumstance. So let us look at exactly where these two paths diverge. Contrast 1. Time. The scarcity mindset is wired for now. It optimizes for immediate comfort, the purchase that feels good today, the decision that avoids discomfort this week. The relationship with the future is vague, distant, theoretical. The abundance mindset thinks in decades. Every decision runs through a quiet filter. What does this cost me in 5 years? It delays gratification not through willpower, but through a genuine, felt connection to a future self it actually believes in. Contrast 2. Problems. When something goes wrong, and it always does, the scarcity mindset asks, why does this keep happening to me? It locates the problem outside, in the economy, in other people, in bad timing. This is not laziness. It is a self-protective move. The abundance mindset asks a different question. What can I do about this? Not because life is fair, it is not, but because agency is the only lever available. It keeps the locus of control internal, even when external forces are genuinely at work. Contrast 3. Other people's success. The scarcity mindset experiences other people's success as a threat. It operates from a finite pie. If they got more, there's less for me. The result is quiet resentment, comparison, withdrawal, an almost allergic reaction to celebrating others. The abundance mindset looks at someone who has built what it wants and thinks, proof. Proof that it is possible. Proof that someone figured out how. And then it gets curious about how. Resentment is expensive. Inspiration is free. Both are a choice. Contrast 4. Learning. The scarcity mindset avoids failure because failure means something about who you are. So it plays small. It takes the safe option. It stays in the lane where it cannot be wrong, because being wrong is dangerous to an identity built on defending itself. The abundance mindset treats failure as data. Every setback is a calibration. Every mistake is a lesson that compounds into capability. You do not get good at things by avoiding the risk of being bad at them. Contrast 5. Money itself. The scarcity mindset has a complicated, often painful relationship with money. It may have grown up hearing that money is the root of all evil, that wanting more is greedy, that rich people are corrupt. These stories, absorbed early and never examined, become a quiet ceiling. You cannot build what you secretly believe you should not have. The abundance mindset sees money as a tool, neutral, amplifying. It builds wealth not because it worships money, but because it understands that financial freedom is freedom. Freedom of time, of choice, of impact. And it does not feel guilty for wanting that. Here is what nobody tells you about these two mindsets. They do not stay the same size over time. They compound. The abundance mindset makes a decision today that opens a slightly better option tomorrow. That option leads to a slightly better network. That network leads to a slightly better opportunity. Compounded over 10 years, the gap between the two people is not slight. It is staggering. Meanwhile, the scarcity mindset makes a decision today that provides relief, but closes a door. That closed door leads to a slightly narrower set of options, which leads to slightly more anxiety, which leads to another decision made from fear rather than possibility. The same mechanism, running in opposite directions. And here is the part that requires real honesty. Neither person sees it happening. The person in the abundance loop does not feel like they are getting luckier. They feel like they are working hard. And the person in the scarcity loop does not feel like they are making it worse. They feel like life is just difficult. The gap between two lives rarely opens in a single dramatic moment. It opens in the quiet accumulation of 1,000 small decisions, each one shaped by what someone believes is possible. This is why mindset work is not soft. It is not motivational fluff. It is the most strategic investment a human being can make, because it changes the quality of every single decision downstream. So, how do you actually move from one to the other? Not with a weekend of motivation, not with a vision board, with something slower and more honest than that. Step 1, catch the story, not just the feeling. The next time you feel the spike of anxiety about money or the flash of resentment when someone else succeeds, do not just feel it. Get curious about it. What is the story underneath? What do you actually believe about what is possible for you? Name it. Write it down. Make it visible. Step 2, question the source. Most of our beliefs about money, success, and what we deserve were formed before we were old enough to evaluate them. Ask yourself, is this belief actually true, or is it just old? Because old is not the same as true, and inherited is not the same as chosen. Step 3, borrow the frame. You do not need to feel abundant to start thinking abundantly. The research on cognitive reframing shows that the behavior often has to come before the belief catches up. So act from the question, what would the abundant version of me do here? Not perfectly, not all at once, just in this one decision. Step 4, protect your inputs. You cannot build an abundance mindset while consuming a constant diet of scarcity. Be deliberate about what you allow to define your reality. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your environment, including your mental environment. The flip is not a moment. It is a practice. It is catching yourself in the old frame, naming it without shame, and choosing, one decision at a time, to respond from somewhere larger. Let us go back to those two people. Same city, same starting point, same economy. The difference was never about what the world gave them. It was about what they believed the world owed them, and what they believed they were capable of creating themselves. One of them spent 20 years asking, why not me? The other spent 20 years asking, how? Both questions feel true in the moment. Only one of them builds something. You are not locked into the mindset you inherited. You are not sentenced to the stories you were given as a child. The operating system can be updated, not overnight and not without effort, but it can be updated. And it starts with the decision to look at it honestly. That decision is yours, right now, in this moment. If this opens something for you, a question, a recognition, even just a small shift in how you see your own story, then subscribe. Every week on this channel, we go deeper into the ideas that actually move people forward. The psychology, the science, the honest conversation most channels are too comfortable to have. We would love to keep building this with you. I will see you in the next one.